All right, welcome back, guys, to Zawoki, but we have a guest star today, Amber at ATS News. We've had a live before, but we are talking together about a book that had been published on Kindle, and I think it's actually a paperback too. I can't remember. Of God's Plan, 40 Days of Devotional, I think, Bible verses that have been rewritten. But again, today, Amber is joining us at ATS News.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I'm definitely excited again because Amber is one of those that fights as hard as we can to find the evidence for this case. She's not able to join us for camera, which is definitely understandable, but we definitely would just want to talk it out and see what other people think besides me and her. So she has not been able to given the chance to read this, which is understandable as well because she is a busy mother and spouse. But Amber had actually, which I'll post here in when I do the editing, that a picture that's on the back of the book that shows Dylan, which is out of prison because he had done his time, but Chris Watts is actually on the back, and the picture that is in question was actually cropped out when they were together, Shanann and Chris.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I really noticed. Why not put a picture of him in his inmate clothing or a recent one? It's a picture from one of the trips they went on, and they literally cropped Shanann out of the picture and used his image for the back of the book.
It's literally a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get me wrong, like I said this before, I'm not against anybody finding religion or God or Jesus. I'm a person that believes in God myself. But you should have done that before you committed a quadruple murder. The book itself, I was hoping when I was reading it was we were going to see somewhat of more of a confession. But it is rewritten versions of what they believe that is God's word and God's plan.
Interesting.
It says the 40 days of devoted in the wilderness were utilized wisely by the authors, DYLAN TALLMAN and Chris Watts. Gracefully from the manacles of imprisonment, DYLAN TALLMAN and Chris Watts freely give their spiritual insights through the walls and into the reader's hearts. So these guys have nothing but time on their hands, obviously. But what I read literally is they read Bible verses from the Bible, copied them, put them in their book, and reworded it a little bit.
Just put their own little spin on stuff that's already existing out there.
Exactly. And it's just, I was hoping to see some more of a man that would actually give excuses of why he committed murder, actually being truthful. I don't see that happening ever because this man just keeps lying. But like Amber and I talked about before, the proceeds for this book should be going to the Rzuceks. That's what Amber said. 100% I believe, or I agree with Amber that the proceeds should go to her or the Rzucek family. Amber, what do you think more in your perspective of this book that has come out? What do you think this is? Is it like a good thing, a bad thing? Like what the heck is going on?
I'm like torn about it because, like you said, we never want to shame anyone who decides like, okay, I'm going to turn my life around and go to God. I can't say that he hasn't done that. He might, only God knows his heart.
Yep.
But my concern is the fact that he hasn't told the public, his own family, Shanann's family, the truth in the matter. They might feel like they know the truth. I just feel like we're still searching for it personally. He honestly doesn't have to tell the public the truth. He only has to tell God the truth, I guess, technically. But I guess it's, because of the wrongful death lawsuit that the Rzuceks had with him, like you said, any proceeds should be going to the Rzuceks, and maybe they are. My concern is what if it's all in Dylan's name and he's able to like funnel it the way that he wants, and it's like,
Yeah.
we really know where this money's going? It's unbelievable. But the most disturbing thing is, like I said, the cropping of Shanann out in that picture and using that image. I just think that was very distasteful.
Very distasteful. I never even thought about it until you had shown me the picture. And then I look at the picture on that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, they picked probably one of the better pictures of Chris at his all-time prime of doing his workouts and stuff, to just like, again, cutting Shanann out is so distasteful in itself. Like, he could have put his mugshot on there. He could have put a single picture of himself on there, but he chose this picture, or whoever did for that matter, is again distasteful.
I feel like a more recent picture would have been more appropriate, as this is his transformation now. This is him, the new him. So give us a picture, like your very most recent picture. That would have been the perfect opportunity for us to see, like, okay, this is who he used to be. Like when we look at old pictures and his mugshot, and this is who he is now, this born again, devotional writing author. And here's his image. And yet they used a picture that was from one of the vacations that he and Shanann went on. Like you said, he looks very much in his prime, with the workout. He's very tan. And just the, idea of picturing them cropping her out, it's just
a slap in the face.
Yeah.
It's literally a slap in the face. And what I was going to say too, the most recent picture that we actually have seen is Chris Watts on prison dating sites.
No, what?
I literally just saw this the other day. I'm going to post it in the tab here. I need to find it for you. I'm going to pause this recording 1 second.
Okay.
To Amber. This is the most recent picture that we have, which I'll post up in right now in front of you guys as well. Which I just sent to Amber. This is what we know what he looks like right now, trying to go on online dating right now in prison. Let me know when you got that, Amber.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Okay. So this, again,
I got it. I've seen this one.
Okay. So they said this was roughly about what they say, a month or two ago, I think they
Definitely
said.
Looks different.
He looks.
No, it's not. It's older than that.
It's more what?
It's probably older than a month or two.
You think this is earlier than a month or two?
No, this is like a year or so ago.
Oh, this is a year ago. So, okay. That's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes we don't know if these are real or not, but
yeah,
a lot of people are saying that this is the most recent for him, but he's on dating sites in prison. He's trying to meet somebody.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most recent. Yes.
But for this man to even...
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I don't know how this man can sit there and murder his family and think that he's allowed to go on dating sites and find somebody to enjoy the rest of his life with. And being a righteous
and who are these women who are all about it?
Well, like you go to the reviews on this book right now, that's 2.4. And literally there's women that are posting that it's inspiring. It's quite accomplished of the hurdles that he's faced while making this book happen. Well, he never needed to make this book regardless if he never would have murdered his family. A lot of people for the reviews say, don't waste your money. Please research Chris Watts before supporting him. Some people have said that he's got the best scriptures, Matthew 6:2. Well, they're not his scriptures. They're the Bible's scriptures. To how to have an emotional conversation without murdering your family is the title. From the authors of the spoken presentations, I did not kill my girls. I swear I don't lie to you. I did not cheat on my wife. Day 1, don't kill the girls, your wife and kids. Day 2, divorce is always an option. Like the reviews are getting to be a little comical, but at the same time, I don't want to laugh at somebody that's finding religion.
I think the reviews are definitely worthy, though. You know, I mean, this is what the public is thinking when they're seeing this book.
Agreed. It's 104 pages. It's
And
recommended.
that's the other thing. How tone deaf?
How tone what?
How tone deaf he be to think that he was criticized for this?
Well, exactly. The recommended reading age on here is 12 to 18. So it just, I don't know.
Interesting.
That's why I want to get on here with you and see your part about this. If I'm the only one that's alone that this is bad, because literally this is almost like Nicole Kessinger making a book saying, I survived a monster and I did not delete messages. Like, I mean, it's just coming up with some random title, but it's like if Nicole Kessinger made a book.
Right. If Nicole Kessinger made a book about monogamy or, you know, respecting relationships.
It's an oxymoron. It's I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. So obviously in your partake, Amber, you would not purchase this book, I presume, correct?
No. And because I don't know where the proceeds are going. And I don't know what the money is being used for, even if it's just going to Dylan, because I know that he's struggled in the past with things, and I would be this way with anyone who, you know, how do I know that the money isn't going back towards all that? Like, I hope he's changed his life around and he's out and stuff, but I just don't see my $20 for this. That's a paperback price from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then 6.
Read anytime. So apparently you can get it on the Kindle. You can get it on paperback. But like Amber and I said, I wasted my money, I feel. Amber's not going to have to, unless she decides to. I can't tell her what to do. But I definitely wanted to get her partake because I definitely respect what she puts out there when it comes to her channel. That's why I reached out to her. There are other YouTubers I could have reached out, but I definitely wanted to reach out to Amber. So I thank you, Amber, for coming on here and talking about this book. Again, we are both for educational and entertainment purposes, not disrespecting God's plan, or God's choice and God's decision. And if people have found religion, that's not what we're here for. We just think the whole part of where is this money going to? Is it going to Chris? Is it being used for whatever? It should be going. It should be going to the Rzuceks, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just so weird, honestly. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, everyone who's seen Chris Watts writing a devotional book, I think everyone's, and I want to know what I just think it's bizarre. You know, we're out here searching for the truth and he's over here preaching God's truth. I don't know. It's just weird.
It's almost like trying to find the best words to say. It's like almost politics. Like, they not to go into politics because that's what we don't want to do here, but it's almost like saying, hey, look what I'm doing over here, but don't look at what I've done in the past. Kind of thing. And it's like, we know what you did in the past, and this is not going to save you. I feel that they're trying to be saved, which, again, we can't decide what God's judgment is for everybody. That is for God to decide. But you can't tell me that he's not happy that you quadruple murdered your family.
We've also heard recently that he and his new cellmate have like a bulletin board where they pin up letters from women and pictures that women send to them. So as much as I want to believe that he's turned his life over and started a new leaf, it just seems like there's still like the remnants of like that cringiness of
the contradictory of what he's been telling us.
right.
So before we get off here, Amber, do you have anything to add to this book created by DYLAN TALLMAN and Chris Watts?
Not really. I think we've said everything there is to say. It's just kind of a bizarre kind of thing that popped up recently related to Chris Watts.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'd love for him to make a statement about it, not his family, not, people who talk to the family. Like I want him to come out and stand by this and give us, what was your thoughts behind doing this? A lot of us are kind of surprised you did this, but instead, I just think he's just going to be his usual coward self and
Be
just
quiet.
yes. I almost think that he was just appeasing Dylan by, doing this with Dylan because we know that that's how Chris is. Like he agrees to do things for people, just to appease them.
He's a follower, not a leader.
Yes, exactly.
He's easily manipulated. In the book too, before we get off, Dylan is the majority of this book. I did see that they have different spots in there where they call themselves like nicknames, where they remove certain letters of their name. So like Chris was K or CHS, and Dylan was like DLN. So it was kind of weird to follow, but the majority of the book was Dylan's name in there. And then at the way back end, there are parts that Chris has included. There are a little bit of information from their Dylan's history, but you don't see anything about Chris and his past. It's just scripture.
Interesting.
So again,
like I said, I hope Dylan has turned his life around. I wish, anyone who struggled with the challenges that he did with addiction, are able to come out on top. I just am curious about the picture. Did Dylan show Chris his picture that he was going to put on there? And did Chris approve? Like, yeah, that's fine. Just crop Shanann out. Like, I need to know more about that.
Yeah, that's hopefully one day we'll find out. But again, like you and I both find out this case, there's little things that are coming out here and there and we're piecing together, but who knows? It could be years down the road. We could never see this. It's unfortunate to see things like this coming out. And no more answers towards things that we want to know when it comes to NK and other things that could be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I thank you, Amber, for being here for your brief moment that you can segregate away from your family for a moment to talk. So I appreciate you coming on here.
Of course, anytime I can do that, I'll definitely be here to co-host with you.
We definitely still do plan on doing a live, but with our busy families, we try to find a way to do it. So hopefully very soon we will. If you guys have not checked out Amber, go over to her channel, give her some love, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Don't forget to do all the above that I said. She's also very intrigued into the Chris Watts case, but does more than just that. She looks at other cases. So don't feel that going to her channel, it's just going to be a repeat of Watts content. It's other crime as well. So again, thank you, Amber, for being here. And all of you guys take care.
No problem. And thank you so much.